I'm going to take my tennis racket to play with Sarla.
But learn it. But wait, not if you study. You ready? Yeah. You're going to take a plain paper. You're going to take a plain paper. It's how you have to learn it. Then,
Can you do it? Study.
yeah.
And
Yeah. Yeah.
study to learn.
That's what give me that one.
Which one is
I'm
more?
gonna give one is slide. No, we got 4 steps of sign paper. Right, the word thing you'll have to spell the word odd. Excellent. Okay, right to word.
Hello, John.
Hello, Rabbi. How are you?
Thank God, and you?
Also, thank God. All good.
I'm in Cape Town at the moment, actually.
Oh, you lucky. Lucky man. Nice weather there.
Not bad today. During the night was raining,
Okay.
but no complaints.
Yeah. That's hot as anything in Joburg, too.
And is Joburg quiet?
Yeah, it's very quiet. Very quiet.
Or are the natives getting restless?
Not yet. Not yet.
I heard they're marching on Santon CBD.
Well, but I think there's a big police presence all over. There are a lot of policemen around. I never knew we had so many policemen. I don't know where they've been hiding up to now.
When they want to make it happen, they can.
That's true. That's
Where
true.
there's a will, there's a way. Hello, Kent.
Yeah.
Hi,
Hello,
Rabbi.
Ken.
Hi, John.
How you, Kent?
Well, good, thanks.
I greet you from Bloberg.
Oh, okay. Well, it's been a bit cooler today, bit of rain.
Yeah, yesterday was gorgeous.
And are things quiet in Cape Town?
Yes, very.
I haven't heard anything. What's going on in town? Have you heard anything, Kent? Any marches in Cape Town?
Sorry, I've just lost you.
We were asking you if there's any activity in Cape Town with the EFF.
Very little. Very
Are
good.
they? Right.
The mayor told them in no uncertain terms where to get off.
Yeah. Exactly.
Okay. Hello, Stephen.
Hi, Rabbi. Hi there. Hi, everyone.
Nice, Stephen.
Okay. Okay.
Hey,
It's
Stephen.
it's 1 o'clock and I have a meeting in
Yeah.
Sea Point at 2. So let's get moving. It's a short chapter, which will today conclude finally the laws of Edut, of witnesses. You've been going on this for 3 weeks. This is my third chapter in the laws of witnesses. And I'm just one. So today we're going to finish chapter 22. And tomorrow you'll start a whole new section, which is very interesting stuff about people who are rebellious. So, chapter 22 says the Rambam, following rules apply when two groups of witnesses contradict each other. If one witness, okay, so basically if you have two witnesses say A did X, B, so and such and such to B, and another group of witnesses contradict them and say, no, it's not true. Who do you believe? You can't believe any of them because they contradict.
That was my question before. I was wondering about that. Why would you believe the one set and not the other? The first set and not the.
When they contradict their testimony, we do not believe one over the other. They cancel out each other's testimony, and we cannot accept either of their testimonies. What you may have learned previously was hazoma. That's not where they are contradicting the testimony, but they are contradicting the witnesses. There we said we believe this. We believe the second one. That is a scriptural law, which is not necessarily based on logic, but it's a Torah law that when they say we don't know if A did X to B or not, but we know that you are lying because you could not have seen it as you say you did because you were with us in the Kruger Park on that date. So you could not possibly have been in Cape Town to seen that event.
Yes,
So that's called hazom. That's a specific type of refutation where we do believe the second group. But normally, if they're arguing about events, one says this one owes this one says this one killed this one said this one struck this one, or whatever. And the other one says, no, we were there, and that's not how it happened. That's not true. It didn't happen that way. Then we don't believe the first or the second. They contradict each other, and we don't have any credible testimony. And we'll learn here now that not only that, but they have, by contradicting each other, we now know that one of those groups of witnesses is for sure lying, right? Because they can't both be right. Either it happened or it didn't happen. So one of them are not kosher witnesses. One of them are liars. So we'll soon see some of the ramifications in this chapter that flow from that basic obvious reality. So number one, the following rules apply when two groups of witnesses contradict each other. If one witness from one group came together with one witness from another group, and they both deliver testimony concerning another matter, a third matter, nothing to do with the first case. Now, one witness from group A and one witness from group B that contradicted each other, one of each group now come to join testimony about a third matter, nothing to do with the previous story. So the testimony is of no consequence because certainly one of them lied. So one of these two guys is a liar. We can't say which one, but we certainly do not have two credible witnesses because they contradicted each other So clearly one of them is a liar. Which one? We don't know. But it's immaterial. We cannot accept their testimony as a joint team of two witnesses. You got that? Now, if one of these groups comes alone, not one from each group, one whole group, there were two groups contradicting each other. Now, one of those groups, or two witnesses from those groups, come and give testimony, and the other group comes alone and gives testimony regarding another matter. Now we can accept the testimony of both groups individually. Interesting. Why? Because they're not contradicting each other, and we don't know who the liars are. So until we establish which group is lying, we have to give each group the benefit of the doubt. A Jew has what we call a cheskes kashrus, a principle we can assume that a Jew is innocent until proven guilty. So he's honest until proven to be a liar. Neither of them have been proven to be the liars. So if each one of them come as separate cases, we can't deny them. We have to go along with them. Interesting. And if you didn't want to believe them, well, which one wouldn't you not believe? One is no better than the other. One is no worse than the other. So therefore, you have to none of them have lost their presumption of innocence, and therefore we have to believe both of them. 2, Ruvain, that's Mr. A, produced 2 promissory notes against Shimon, Mr. B. One for a monah, which is 100 zuz, and one for 200 zuz. So Ruvain comes to Shimon, and he's got 2 IOU notes that Shimon says he owes him 100 and 200. Shimon denies both. He says he doesn't know anything. Then you get witnesses, and the witnesses to one of the promissory notes were one of the groups whose testimonies contradicted each other before in the previous case, and the witnesses to the other were the second group. So now we have these 2 contradictory groups, right? Where one of them is a liar, but we don't know which one. So one group of 2 witnesses from the one group testifies that yes, Shimon did borrow 100 zuz from Reuven. The other group, the other 2, come and testify, yes, Shimon did borrow 200 from Reuven. So he has witnesses for both his promissory notes. One of these witnesses is a liar, but we don't know which one. So Shimon is required to pay only a mana. He only has to pay the lesser amount, the 100 zuz, $100. For the bearer of the promissory note has the position of lesser strength. He must take an oath concerning the remainder. What does that mean, this line? The bearer of the promissory note has the position of lesser strength. Meaning the Reuven, who has this note and claims that the guy owes him, he doesn't have such a strong case because one of his witnesses for sure are lying, but we don't know which one. So we'll give him the lesser amount. And furthermore, we'll say that he has to take an oath concerning the remainder. And the Rambam writes, it appears to me that he must take this oath concerning the remainder while holding a sacred article, like a Torah, as is required of a person who admits a portion of the claim lodged against him. That's a biblical oath, might have been mixes. Well, there are 2 acceptable witnesses who testify concerning a portion of the money which he denied owing entirely. And the statements of his own mouth should not have greater legal power than the testimony of witnesses, as we explained. So if there are witnesses, one of these witnesses for sure are honest. One is for sure a liar, one is not. We don't know which is which. But there are 2 honest witnesses who say that he does owe money, which he is denying. So if a person says, if you come along and say, I owe you, where's the $300 you owe me? And he says, no, I only owe you 100. So he has to pay the 100 and he has to take an oath about the other 200 that he denies. So similarly here, if witnesses say he owes, why should it be worse than, why should it be any weaker than if he states himself that he owes a certain amount? So he has to take an oath, and the Rambam says he should take it holding a sacred object like a Torah. 3. Ruvain sued Levi, producing a promissory note signed by one of these groups of witnesses who may be liars, but we can't prove it. Shimon also sued Levi and produced a promissory note signed by the other group. So he's got two IOUs against Levi, signed by different groups, one of whom is a liar, but we don't know which one. Although Levi denies both debts, both Reuven and Shimon are given the option of taking an oath and collecting what they claim. So Reuven sued Levi, Shimon sued Levi. Each one brought the opposite witnesses of those cases where one of them was, where they contradicted each other, so one group is lying. And still, because we can't refute them, we don't have any proof to refute either one, therefore, they are each going to be able to collect what they claim in their promissory notes from Levi. And they will just have to take an oath. So Reuven and Shimon will take an oath that this promissory note is accurate and true and honest, and Levi indeed owes him this money. And once they take an oath, they will be able to collect from Levi on the grounds that they have witnesses, because we cannot refute these witnesses. Even though we know that one of them is a liar, we cannot refute them. It has not yet been proven who is the liar. This oath is required by rabbinic law, the same as a storekeeper who takes an oath to collect a claim supported by his ledger. So we have a principle in the Gemara that a shopkeeper is believed on his ledger. So if the shopkeeper holds accounts, not everybody pays cash. He has an account. Like today, it doesn't exist so much, but in the olden days, I remember our butcher and our veggie guy, we used to have accounts. Excuse me. So if the shopkeeper says to the customer, hey, you owe me X amount, I've got it here in my book, in my ledger, and the guy denies it, who do we believe? We believe the shopkeeper. That's a principle of Talmudic law. However, we say he has to take an oath, and a rabbinic oath, and he can collect it. So too in this case. Number 4, Reuven sued Shimon, producing a promissory note signed by one of these groups of witnesses who may be a liar, but we don't know. And he also sued Levi, producing a promissory note signed by the other group, similar to the previous case. If both defendants deny the debts, we follow the principle, a person who seeks to expropriate money from a colleague must prove his claim. I come to you and I say, hey, you're wearing my jacket. You say, jump in the lake, it's my jacket. What are you talking about? Who has to prove whose jacket it is? You're wearing the jacket. You have to prove it's yours, or I want to take it away from you. I have to prove that it's mine. The onus of proof is on me, because possession is 9/10 of the law, right? So if you're wearing the jacket and I'm saying it's my jacket, I'm the one who has the burden of providing proof that it's mine. So likewise here, if both defendants deny the debts, we follow the principle, person who seeks to expropriate money must prove his claim. Since Reuven cannot validate either of these legal documents, both the promissory notes are like shards, meaning a piece of rubbish, shredded documents. It's a broken vessel. It's worthless. They have no legal standing. Both of the defendants are required to take merely a shvuas heses, that's a rabbinic oath, and they are released of obligation. So it's interesting. We have the different mechanics, dynamics playing out here. So Reuven sued Shimon and Levi. He had IOUs, and we had witnesses backing up these IOUs, but they were the contradictory witnesses, one from this group for this claim and one for the other group for that claim. So because we know that these witnesses, one of these groups are liars, therefore we say now that the onus of Reuven, who's the claimant, the creditor, he has to prove that his witnesses are credible. And because he cannot, because there's a doubt, then the defendant, the plaintiff, Levi, Shimon and Levi, who are being demanded to pay back money, which Reuven says they owe him, they just have to take a rabbinic oath and they're released of payment. When does the above apply? This is a caveat which helps explain, because it seems contradictory to what we said before. When does the above apply? When the two groups of witnesses come to testify at the very same time, together. Aha, now we understand. Otherwise, whenever a person produces a legal document containing testimony, he may expropriate property based on it. But if they come together, we know one of them is lying. So we can't accept this testimony from any of them until you prove that they're legit. If they come separately, we can't disprove them. So you could expropriate the money on that basis. But if they come together, then we say no. Somebody here is lying, and you have to prove that you owe the money before you can extract it. Otherwise, whenever a person produces a legal document containing testimony of one of these two groups, he may expropriate property based on it. Afterwards, if either he or another person produces a legal document with testimony from the other group, it could be used to expropriate money, whether from the first bar or from any other person. The rationale is that it is as if each of the two groups came alone and testified. So when they come separately, they have a presumptive degree of innocence. When they come together, we know for sure there's a lie happening here now, and therefore we cannot accept it. The following rules, number 5, apply when a person brings witnesses. Their testimony is investigated. They were disqualified through Hazoma. Stephen, that's what we said before in your question, when they were disqualified because they were disproved by a second set of witnesses that said, we don't know if your testimony is true, but we know that you are liars because you were not there. You were with us in a faraway place at the same time. You could not have possibly been there to see what you claim you have seen, so you're a liar. They were disqualified through Hazoma. Then he brought other witnesses concerning the same claim, and they were also disqualified through Hazoma. So the guy keeps making a claim, and he keeps bringing witnesses, and these witnesses keep getting disqualified through Hazoma. Even if he brings 100 groups, 100 sets of witnesses, and they're all disqualified, so you think by now he'd lost his credibility, no? They'd throw him out of court as a vexatious litigant, it's called. No. Even if he brings 100 groups as well, if afterwards he brings other witnesses regarding the same claim, and their testimony is found to be accurate, the case will be adjudicated on this basis. We don't assume that it's a lie. Those witnesses may have been liars, but now he brought witnesses which seem to be innocent and honest, and they may very well win the case. even though the plaintiff can be presumed to bring lying witnesses, because he brought 100 sets of lying witnesses, we do not operate under the presumption that these new witnesses that he brings are also lying. In other words, every Jew has a presumptive principle that he is innocent until proven otherwise. When, by contrast, there is a legal document concerning which a protest has been sustained, that is, two witnesses came and said that the plaintiff told them to forge this legal document, we can never use that legal document to expropriate property, even if the authenticity of the signature of the witnesses is validated. Here we have clearly determined that this is a lie. But in the previous case, we cannot presume that those new witnesses that he brought are also liars necessarily. And finally, says the Rambam, it appears to me that if the witnesses to the legal document came and testified concerning their signature, that it is indeed their signature, the legal document may be used to expropriate money. Okay, let's do the test. Quick quiz. Two pairs of witnesses contradicted each other. You may have to unmute yourself to answer. May one witness from each group join with one witness from a different group to testify about something else?
Yes.
Yes, yes. Well,
I'll say yes.
huh?
Yes.
What's probably
Number
Yeah.
one, if one witness
I'll
from
put
one
the-
group came together with one from the other group,
which one?
it's of no consequence.
Uh,
So what is he saying? What's going on here?
Read the next paragraph.
what's the question? Oh. Next paragraph.
It's in the second paragraph, Rabbi.
Two pair of witnesses contradicted each other. You say yes. But he just said no. I don't understand.
Look at the next paragraph.
Read the second paragraph.
If one of the
Because they didn't join. Not that they joined. The individual.
oh, that's where the group itself, the whole group, comes on another matter. In number one, if one witness from one group came together, one from the other group, concerning them, it's of no consequence because for sure one of them is a liar. I don't understand.
It says on another matter.
On another matter, yes.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's what the question's about.
Where did it say that?
In the fourth line, concerning another matter.
What's the question?
I don't know if this is a mistake. Two pairs of witnesses contradicted each other. May one witness from each group
that's something
join with
else.
one witness from a different group.
That's something else.
Maybe it means
something else.
maybe it means a different group, not from the same other group. Two pairs.
I think it means a different matter.
About a different
One
matter.
witness from each. One witness from each group join with one witness from a different group. I don't know. I'm a little bit confused by that one. I'm sorry. 2. Reuven has 2 promissory notes against Shimon, which he denies owing. The witnesses to each document have contradicted each other before. What is the law? A, B, or C?
What? You have two problems.
The lesser amount, number one.
The normal lesser amount.
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah.
Yes, he pays the lesser amount. If 2 people bring promissory notes against someone, and the witnesses on one note had contradicted the witness on the other note in the past, what is the law?
Number 1.
One.
Correct.
That's enough.
Correct. Is the oath required of the witness in the previous question rabbinic or biblical?
Rabbinic.
Rabbinic.
Biblical. Is it?
Shayach, guys,
Rabbinic.
thank you very much.
Thanks,
Rabbi.
Rabbi.
Thank you, Rabbi. Have a good meeting in Seaport.
Drive all safe.
Stay out of
Rabbi.
trouble.
You
Rabbi.
too, Rabbi. Cheers.
I'll see you
Bye-bye.
at
Bye.
I'll see you at Mincha, Rabbi.
Rabbi,
Yes.
Mazel Tov for your grandson's obscureness,
Thank you very much.
and to Oshi Darren and his wife as well.
Thank you very much. That's why we came to Cape Town. Thank you, David.
Mazel tov, yes.
Simchas by all of you.